Ladies and gentlemen, Clay Immunity, welcome. Tap in. We just got done doing a video that talked about if you're a point guard, if you're a hash, primary ball handler, secondary ball handler, these are the most important shooting badges for you. If you guys want to get a chance to check out that video, it's gonna be right up here, and I'm gonna make sure I leave a tag for you all to jump over to go check that video out. This video specifically though, is for everybody that is a big, that can shoot, that is a swing, typically a power forward or small forward, and the people who are specifically the on-ball locks that don't really have any dribbling to them or don't care to do a bunch of dribbling. This video is for you. We're gonna rank them in the order of S tier, tier 1, tier 2, useless badges, and better on bronze. So let's work our way through some of these things. Now remember, this is for a very specific type of player. So these are the guys that are typically the ones that are spotting up. They make a play that gets them the pass off of a screen or off of maybe the fast break. They're normally not the ones that'll set up their jump shots and stuff by creating off of the dribble or coming off of a screen. Pick and pop style is what they do. Standing corner, waiting for a rotation, corner to hash. This is for these people. Let's start with the first badge. First badge is for Agent 3. For those of you guys who don't know, Agent 3 is a badge that is specifically one that was combining the NBA 2K22 stop and pop and circus threes into one badge. And so if you're thinking about it, both of those badges are badges that are creating shots off the dribble. That's not what we're talking about when it comes to the build and what the build needs for shooting. Hence why Agent 3 is not going to be a good badge for you if you fit in that category. So I'm going to put Agent 3 as a tier 2 badge. It's not entirely useless, but it's not really something you want to spend a bunch of badge points on. The next one is Deadeye. So Deadeye is a badge when jump shots get contested from specifically them running at you from the front side and they jump and contest you, you get less of a penalty from that contest. This is a very important badge. I would put Deadeye as an S tier badge because most of the time you guys are going to get contests. It's not going to come from people jumping to your left or your right. Most of the contests come right in front of you. If you are fitting in that category of the type of shooter we've been talking about, this is an S tier badge. And if you can get it as high as you possibly can. So in case you guys don't know, if you had an 82 3 ball, you can get Deadeye on silver, 91 gets you a Deadeye on gold. Those people who are running lock swings and hashes and stuff don't have 3 balls that are that high. So we're talking about maybe a silver badge. So the next badge we're going to be talking about is the Limitless Range badge. The Limitless Range badge is a badge that helps you essentially extend your ability to shoot a 3-point shot beyond the 3-point line. Now, there's been some tests, some studies from it. Beautiful work done by the brothers over at NBA 2K Labs, where this badge does not activate unless you are almost 4 to 5 feet behind the 3-point line. Now it's hash to hash, so not activating when you're standing in the corner. There's not many instances where people who are locks that are spot ups, they're normally in the corners. Swings, normally in the corners. Even your bigs that pick and pop, they're not gonna go 5 feet behind the 3-point line. This is a fantastic badge, but it is basically a useless badge if you are trying to rock this as the categories of shooters that we've been talking about. Fantastic badge, but I wouldn't put it on unless you're a primary or you're the secondary or unless your offense is structured to where you're standing deep hash for these shots. So if that's not the case, I'm gonna put this in the category of useless. The next one is the Blinders badge. Now here's where this gets interesting because this Blinder badge is typically a badge that's gonna be a tier 3 category, which means you're gonna be spending buku's amount of badge points just to get this one. And this isn't necessarily a useless badge, but I wouldn't necessarily consider this an S tier badge. So Blinders, in case you guys don't know, essentially helps reduce the penalty of a shot contest when somebody's trying to contest you from your sides. The only times this would really kick in and be effective is if you're maybe shooting from the corners. I'm gonna call this one a tier 2 badge. Next one is gonna be Amped. I personally am a big fan of the badge of Amped. Those of you guys who might not remember, Amped is a badge that essentially helps you reduces the penalty of your jump shot based off of the fatigue that you have drained. So if you're dribbling the ball a lot, or if you're running a lot, or you just got done and you've used your stamina bars, Amped will essentially help you knock down shots with less of a penalty because your stamina bars or your stamina itself are lower. I like the badge Amp, but I don't think it's necessarily a really important badge considering that you're not going to be really running the ball a lot to have your energy drained. So I would actually put this in the category of a better on bronze badge. Typically your amped badges are going to be in your tier 1 category, which means you only got 1 badge point to spend. You could get this one on bronze easily. You're not spending a bunch of badge points. The next one is catch and shoot. Pretty self-explanatory. Catch the basketball and you shoot it. It gives you a boost with your jump shot. This is a no-brainer. A very obvious S tier badge. Normally these are tier 3 badges, and for this one, I actually love the thresholds they have for this. In order for you to get a gold catch and shoot badge, which is a very OP badge, you have to have an 81 3-point shot. The next step from a gold to a Hall of Fame is 81 to 93. You have to have 12 additional attribute points on your 3-ball. Hall of Fame, but they made it low enough to where it's easy to attain at gold. So I would tell you rock this badge, especially at a gold badge. The next one is Claymore. This is a new badge in NBA 2K23. Claymore is a badge that essentially helps boost your ability to knock down shots when you are standing still. So if you are, for instance, standing in the corner, maybe you're standing on the pick and pop, or you're standing deep hash because you're running a 5-out, whatever the case may be, you're running park, you're running threes, you name it, and you're standing still, and you get that pass and you shoot the basketball, you will get a boost. You gotta stand still. I believe the threshold is like 3 seconds, 2-3 seconds to be able to stand still and get a little boost for that. Claymore, S tier badge. Claymore is also typically a tier 1 badge, which means you could spend 4 badge points on it and you could put it on Hall of Fame, which is essentially an 86 3-ball, but you could also get it on gold with, I believe it's a 76. 76 will give you a gold Claymore. Clutch Shooter is a badge that essentially helps boost your ability to knock down shots in the closing minutes of the 4th quarter or in overtime. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I think that's useless. I wouldn't put any badge points on that. Maybe I can see an instance where if you got a consistent knockdown big and you see the pick and pop game is really being effective and y'all are like absolutely killing the pick and pop game, maybe I would put it on better for bronze. But me personally speaking, I would consider this to definitely be a useless badge. All right, so when you're looking at Comeback Kid, we don't know much about this badge. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know very many people that run it. But essentially the badge gives a boost to those who are mid-range or 3-point shots whenever you're trailing in a game, which in theory means you start the game and your opponent makes a shot and you're down 2-0, 3-0. This badge kicks in. It's tough because it's almost like an ego badge. You activate it because you think to yourself, I'm gonna run this badge because we normally trail in the game and this will give me a boost. If you do, I don't know if this badge is any more helpful to be able to run on a higher level because we don't really know how much of a boost it gives. So for now, I would say this badge is probably a badge that's better on bronze. So now we're looking at Corner Specialist. Self-explanatory. Badge that gives a boost to anybody that takes a jump shot in the 3-point range in the corner. This is a no-brainer. S tier badge. This is a must-have badge. And typically, most bigs, most locks, most swings, this badge comes in a tier 2 category, which is easier to access. You can immediately access that off the rip. Now, the threshold for this is what's my favorite part, because in order for you to get this on gold, all you need is a 79 3-ball. It's cheap and it's very effective. S tier badge, easy one. All right, Green Machine. So Green Machine is a good badge for a primary and a secondary. This is a badge that essentially gives you a boost when you hit consecutive excellence. Here's why I tell you this with a big caution. If you don't know your jump shot, this badge is useless. If you do know your jump shot, I say this badge is very helpful for you. The highest I would put this at is better on bronze. So the next badge is Guard Up. Increases your ability to make jump shots whenever there's a defender that poorly contests. This is a very helpful badge. I would put this badge specifically in the tier 1 category. Now, most of these badges in your badge layout will be either a tier 1 or a tier 2. All it takes is either a 77 mid-range or an 83 3-ball to activate it on gold. So I think if you rock an 83 3-ball for whatever build you run in this, you're talking about gold corner specialist, gold catch and shoot, gold guard up. Those are very good badges to be able to stack. All right, so the next one is Midi Magician. Now, this one was a fairly useless badge for those who are your primary ball handlers, secondary ball handlers. But I specifically would put this badge for those that are locks, swings, but more specifically for those who are bigs. I would put this badge as a tier 2 category. So remember, this badge is supposed to be able to help boost the effectiveness of your jump shot. When you take dribble pull-ups from the mid-range, when you do spin shots, or whenever you take fadeaway shots in the mid-range. Now, if your game player, your game style is able to fit that, i.e. if you run in the park, or if you run threes, or if you run twos, this badge can go from tier 2 to tier 1. But if you're running fives, I would say this badge is gonna probably be a tier 2 badge for you. Very good badge, oftentimes tier 1, which means you only gotta spend 4 badge points in order to even get a Hall of Fame, and it's not that expensive. 81 mid-range gets you a Hall of Fame Midi Magician. So here's what I have for the slippery off ball. This is mainly for people who are running off of screens. Now keep in mind, I wouldn't personally put a bunch of badge points in this one. I am openly biased against this badge. I think this badge is pretty worthless, but that's just my opinion. You're welcome to disagree with me in the comments. In fact, make an argument for me in the comment section. Let me know why you think this badge might be helpful for whatever position on the floor. So I'm gonna stick this badge in the same place that I did primaries and the secondaries. I'm gonna put this as a useless badge category. So for those of you guys who might not know what Space Creator badge is, it increases the ability for a player to be able to hit shots after creating space from a defender, as well as cross-up moves and step-back moves. So for Space Creator, gotta think this is for people who are normally on-ball locks that are spotting up, swings, and for bigs. You're playing Parker threes or twos. Build probably has the ability to dribble and can create shots and space create. You're running fives. You're probably not running that much of a dribble animation on your build. So I'm not going to call this badge useless, but I would put this in the tier 2 category. Then finally, you have the volume shooter, which unless you are shooting 9, 10, 11, 12 shots, 20 shots a game, this badge is going to be fairly useless for most of my people that are the swings, the locks, and the bigs. It's a great badge, but you will never get it to consistently activate, nor would I encourage you to put any badge points on this. So I'm gonna put volume shooter as a useless badge. This is for all of my people that run locks that primarily spot up, my swings, and for my bigs. This is what I have in the S tier category as your must-have badges: Deadeye, catch and shoot, play more, and corner specialist. My tier 1 badge only got one, that's guard up. My tier 2 badge, I got agent threes. You can argue blinders tier 1 or tier 2. I personally would put it tier 2. Midi magician, but only in the instance of maybe bigs. I would rock the midi magician, and space creator depending on your game style. Useless badges, limitless range, since most of these people who we're talking about won't be taking shots 3, 4, 5, 6 feet behind the 3-point line from hash to hash. But shooter, slippery off ball, and volume shooter, since you'll never get that badge to activate unless you shoot a bunch of shots. And then the better on bronze badge, I think you can do away with amped. I think you could do well with comeback kid, and I think you could do well with the green machine, all of these being on bronze tier categories. This is what I would rank for this. I hope this video was helpful, and even the explanation behind what these badges do, how you can get them to activate, the ones that maybe fit your game style and gameplay. Let me know if this was helpful in the video down below. If you guys haven't and you are new, do me a major favor. Please don't forget to hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more of this kind of content and stay locked in with everything NBA 2K23 related, free to hit that sub button, man. I'd love to have you a part of the Clay community. Let me know down below if there's any other videos that you think would be helpful for you guys, as we're all trying to figure this out and have fun playing this basketball game, man. It's your boy, Coach Clay. I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all take it easy, man. Peace.